Hey there, everybody. How's it going? It's Saturday. And this is the road to 200, the MLB algorithm crusade I'm on. I don't even know what even to call this. So I'm trying to see how many people are interested in the MLB algorithm and also interested in my channel and all the things I do. So this video, when it gets to 200 views, I'll know that enough people cared, and we'll continue doing more MLB predictions because I just spent about an hour this morning already because I got to get on the road. I got to go to hockey practice with the kid, and it's too much to do. So I was like, I'll just get the MLB algorithm updated for everybody and do the video to thank everyone for getting the Road to 100 video that I did on Thursday, over 100 views. That's awesome. We'll see this one get over 200 views at some point. So anyway, I was like, I'll get the MLB algorithm done. I realized I didn't do it yesterday at all. And that creates a whole lot of really boring and difficult database administration work to get all the results in and to get everything going. Man, it's tough. And it took me like an hour to do that. And I thought, for those of you who are updating this yourselves, I mean, I can't imagine if you're working a full-time job and you've taken this on because you want to try to predict the games yourself and get kind of an edge on figuring out what might happen. Are the Mets going to score 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning to beat the Phillies? Like, is there a way to predict that? The algorithm predicted, I believe, the Mets coming close or winning that game prior to that video. I did, and it was pretty funny night for baseball on Thursday night. But so anyway, if you're doing all this, you're updating it yourself. It's difficult, and the only thing I can tell you is it takes years of practice. So as I update this and do work on it, I'll try to pass new versions out to people, obviously, that have subscribed. But, I mean, if a lot of people are viewing this and it's really working well, like it said it worked really well yesterday, like it's 7-1. I don't know if this is what it actually would have done had I prepared it before the games. But there's a bunch of rainouts and stuff's really messy, and I mean, I feel like those of you guys, like baseball, the weather's terrible and you got all these rainouts and it makes your predictions, bets, and fantasy and all kinds of stuff completely a disaster if stuff gets rained out. And that's going to happen today and yada, 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 yada. Anyway, the point is what are the picks? Because I got to run, right? And the answer is we're almost there. I don't even know yet. We're going to finish it right now, okay? So today's the 7th. Today's Saturday. These holes are games where there are probably rainouts. Okay? But doesn't matter really for our predictions. We're not going to care about it. We're going to leave them all in there. I can see one problem we need to fix. Eduardo Rodriguez's name needs to be updated in the lineup sheet because he's a pitcher who's pitching today, I guess. I started adding different days odds in here because I had to add a bunch of days at once, and you might have to do this. You might have to add a bunch of days up to your records all at once, and it's frustrating. I admit. I mean, this is actual work, right? Like, you should be paid for doing this? It doesn't feel fun at all, but it provides you with a lot of information that's really helpful, and it's kind of as automated as I can get it. It's not like, I mean, I'm doing the best we can here. All right, so the 7th starts right here now, okay? So it looks like, let's see, this is, okay, so the 7th is the first game of the day. You got to connect this to the matchup sheet right here. Okay, so this, I'm going to talk about the record of the 7th, where the date is. Starts right here. Pull this formula over and down as far as it'll go until it starts going blank. And these should all be the games for the 7th. We'll figure out if this is right in a second. It would say that there are 36 or 18 possible games, probably because of double headers and stuff. Let's see if that's right by counting. 3, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, 18. Yay! That matches. So I guess we have 18 games and 18 games. That's good. So that means that if this was right, if our matchup sheet was right, and do we have 18 games on here? Let's see. 36, 18. Okay, perfect. So what's going on here, and is this right? Well, here's how you check if this is right, and then we're going to be done, and I'm going to refresh. And I'm not going to talk about the games at all because we have no time for that. But we'll have time to see if this thing is right. Here's how you check if it's right. Are the lineup factors all not 0, greater than 0, right? We fixed Eduardo Rodriguez. All the lineup factors, okay, that's good. What about weird red stuff? There's an 18 ERA for James Kaprielian. That's craziness. Is he really pitching? Okay, that's more reasonable. You gotta prune out ridiculous ERAs. You can think about them, but you gotta prune them out from the overall. Yeah, make something where nobody is a crazy number worse than like 6. 6 is acceptable because that's a bad ERA. But what was his last year? That's a little better for this prediction. Whatever. That's semantic stuff. But you do need to get the ERAs. Like that guy with the 18 has to go. Nobody can have an 18 ERA in here because they're not really going to pitch 9 innings of the game. So it's not going to predict stuff right. That would never happen at an 18. They'd pull him in the first or second inning if he's given up 3 or 4 runs an inning, right? So anyway, are we done? I don't know. I think so. What does today say? Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff with no lines because they're going to be rained out. And all that makes sense. It's raining here outside of Washington, D.C. today. I totally believe... No, wait a minute. This game's in L.A. Doesn't make sense. There's no line for another reason. Yeah, but who cares about lines? I don't care about lines. Let's just talk about who thinks is going to win. And it's Houston over Detroit. In Houston. I don't care about lines, but we'll look at the lines. So that's not that bad. I mean, given how much of a margin this is. Dodgers over the Cubs with Kershaw. Jeez. Yeah, okay. I believe that. Although, didn't they lose to Detroit with Kershaw pitching last game? So weirder things have happened. Baltimore is not... This game's going to be rained out. Okay, I can almost pick the games that are... Yeah, let's remove the rainouts. I don't understand why the rainouts have a line, but whatever. Yeah, Philly, Baltimore. I mean, it's early, but I'm calling these games rainouts. Yankees. I said we weren't going to talk about the games. Are the Mets Scherzer going to beat Philadelphia? 11% margin. So the algorithm says, assuming this is right, and I don't know that, is this. If you want to try to build upon this yourself and make it better and learn how it works and have fun with it, you can get a copy on CamBraverman.com. And if you don't want to pay for that because you're cheap or you just don't want to pay for that and you just want to see more videos and see the pics, figure out how to get this video over 200 views. And then you'll get another one for the next day, which will probably be tomorrow, which is Sunday. All right? So good luck, everybody. May all our picks be winning. If you do one thing, I'm going to root for the Mets because my grandpa was a Mets fan. I built this algorithm for him, essentially, to try to tell him that his picks were terrible when we read the USA Today every day and went over the matchups because he watched a lot of baseball and he knew pitchers. And after doing this algorithm, I tell you that I know pitchers too now because, you know, I know Dylan Bundy started out the year great this year and then lost a game or two. So, like, I think that I know that Clayton Kershaw's a really good pitcher that almost threw a perfect game if they'd let him finish it a few weeks ago, and instead he loses a game to Detroit, I think, at home last week. So anyway, point is, good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning, and make this video get over 200 views.